money off of this country. You know, I mean, I don't have that $10 million home to live in if I screw up the economy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I screw up, you know, I mean, we learned our lesson on socialized health care. It is something that people of this nation do not want. There's only 18% of the people that currently support the health care plan that existed. Those are the people that want socialized medicine. Everybody else, they said 2 out of every 3 voters in the nation, including the majority being in the independents, want health care either gotten rid of or changed.
Oh.
And the Democrats are scared. The Republicans plan to start offering changes this week.
Oh.
And it scares the hell out of them that the people are going. The Democrats lost the message, and they lost the message to 1/10 of the news industry is to the right. They lost the message to 1/10 of the industry, and their people their trumpets are no longer being heard because their heralds keep saying spend, 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 when pockets, I have money, of course, in my pocket, but that's not a good pocket to pull out. But that's the general American's pocket, is that you put the money in the other pockets. I can have 2 empty pockets. Empty pockets is what most Americans have at the moment. See, that's money left over from buying hot dogs over at Costco, so I know, so I have some left. But I got to pay my bills today, so that goes bye-bye too. But they lost the message. Because they were trying to, it's the same thing as that Sony we like the people over Sony, but when you keep trying to jam something down somebody's throat because someone doesn't want it, it's like you go into a store, nobody wants to buy black socks and the store only sells black socks and the store can't figure out why it's going out of business. Because you keep telling people to do something they don't want to do. Americans do not want to they don't want to be told what doctor they can go to, because first of all, it's the same thing. You got a woman that basically, weighs 300 pounds, and she goes in and tries a swimsuit on, and don't you have any smaller swimsuits? Because I always wear an extra small.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
And we've seen that before.
They can't get the swimsuit bottom on one leg, and they're wanting an extra small swimsuit because that's what they wear. And they'll tell people that when they'll go into the doctor and say, well, did you do this when I told you to do that? Well, no, I didn't. And then if they don't like what the doctor did, they'll go to another doctor. Not in socialized medicine. When a doctor, he says, did you do what I told you to do? And they'll say, well, no. And then he basically has them handcuffed and taken off to jail. That's what happens in countries with socialized medicine, folks. Try that in the Soviet Union, talking back to a doctor.
Oh, yeah. I don't think so.
Doctors don't get talked back to.
Here, we have some choices.
I watched a thing on public broadcast the other night of a doctor, and he said, absolutely, to his patients, he just walked out and said, I really don't give a blankety blank what you people think. I don't get paid to care what you people think. All I'm cared to do is to sign papers to saying you're here, and that's what I get paid to do. And he said, if you don't like it, then to hell with all of you. And he went back into his office. Yeah. He told everybody in the waiting room that. That's what he thought of his patients, because he got like $10 for every patient. Mm-hmm. So in order to pay his bills, he had to run like 200 patients through a day. So that is what happens, and Americans won't put up with it. They will not put up with okay, our nation was founded by individualists. It's why, for instance, the Oakland A's were such a great baseball team in Oakland, was because there was like about a dozen individuals on the team. They were only playing for themselves, because you had 12 people playing for themselves. You had great pitching, great hitting, so hell, he can hit 40 home runs and steal 30 bases. I can hit 40 home runs and steal 40 bases. Mm-hmm. Well, he just won his 21st game. Well, I'm going to win 22 games to show him up. Individualism is what has made our country what it is. And you can't be an individual and be a drone. And the Democrats want drones. But listen to the heralds. When the heralds say that we believe in individualism, it means that they don't believe in individualism. When the heralds say that we want to do what is best for you, not the country. It means they don't give a damn about what you want. If they say that, well, this product is really a good product for you, basically it means it's not a good product. If they tell you that the reason the businesses are, that the fast food industry is dying in this nation because people want healthier food. No, it means that they're shutting the fast food industry down because they think that people should have healthier food. And Michelle Obama's, you don't eat French fries. Don't eat any. If I eat it, screw you people. It's only for us people at the top. If you're down here, you're going to eat carrot sticks and celery sticks. I'll eat every damn French fry I want to eat, but the hell with you. That's how it is at the top, folks. She's at the top. Her and her husband, even the Democrats will say, they cannot get it through their head. There is a procedure they're supposed to do as president and president's wife. And they said they're the two most arrogant individuals they've ever seen when it comes to protocol. Look at her. She's got that smug look like she's better than everybody. And he, he's dyeing his hair black now so that he can look hot and sexy to the women.
His hair is black.
No, it was gray. He dyed it black. Yeah, look at the pictures of his gray hair. His gray hair, 2 days ago before they basically got photographed with his gray hair before they dyed it, before they dyed for the dinner. And they dyed his hair and went a little bit too dark for him. It's a little bit dark grayer now because they brought the
that
movie
was
people.
a no-no.
Yeah. Why in the heck do you think they're bringing the movie people into Washington, D.C.? To basically, the movie people are experts at creating drones. They're trying to explain to the Democratic Party how they can get their things past people's view without, well, actually if it's a Republican leader, all you gotta do is put it on his desk and you never notice it. And if it's a Republican newsman, all you gotta do is to be, the person to the left over on NBC telling the President of the United States this afternoon is going to sign a document eliminating talk radio. And then they'll be having it on their television set and they'll be laughing about it. And then the next morning they'll be out on the street looking for a job.
Yeah.
That's how simple it is. But you're getting socialized medicine. Doesn't make any difference if you voted to make a stand against Obama. The Democrats want the President of the United States to do it.
You get it.
And get it. So, it's, we've told people, we've been telling people all along. But the unique thing about being us on the internet is nobody listens to anything we have to say.
Actually, more of them listen than you think they do.
Well, I know, but they don't listen to it in this country. Most of our stuff is out of the country. So they listen. I'm big in 110 languages on my OCAM. And she's very big to educated women. Yeah, we do have an audience. I'm big in foreign countries with my news, and she's big. All of her stuff does well with college educated women with making $60,000 a year or more.
Actually, a lot of people would love those stats, wouldn't they?
I know. Those are good stats, but so just, like I said, when you look at us, don't look at how many views that a video might have. Look at how many sites that video is up, which is always more sites than the views.
Yeah.
So
I know, that's
we'll
really
keep
painful.
people up on this. Like we said, this is just news from the day. It's going to get worse. Because this man, he's going to.
Come on, give him something to hope for.
Oh, I absolutely know it's going to get worse. I told people before they elected Obama that the Democrats would put up somebody worse than Bush would be, and the Republicans would put up somebody worse than Obama's going to be, and then they're going to put up another candidate that was worse, and it's going to be like 20, 30 years before this country gets stable, because we're going to have tit for tat in the election cycles.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a
And that does happen.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is we figure, whether you like it or not, you're probably going to have Sarah Palin as President of the United States, because she's going to get elected by the Tea Party, which
Well,
is
and
basically
see,
the
here's
Senate.
part of the challenge is I like Sarah Palin personally, but part of it is we had all left, then we're going to probably go all right.
That's right.
So
And then there'll be.
and I'd rather have Sarah Palin and then have. Actually, like the Senate, be left in the
But
House. You
Palin,
know what I mean? So
this one-
all houses or all executive branches are not one way or another.
Okay.
It's my preference, but
You're going to have a Republican president that wants the Bible read At you're gonna, instead of teaching to read, see, spot, run, you're going to be having the Bible read.
Which
to
is
every
problematic
class.
too,
Yeah.
because there's a separation of the church and the state.
But they're going to ignore it. Like Obama ignores everything now, they're gonna ignore separation of church and state.
Well, part of it is Obama's like opened the door of, I mean, I've never seen a president totally ignore the law like he does.
Yeah, he's above the law. But
Yeah.
in 212.
So guess what you're gonna get?
In 212.
They've already shown.
But at 212, you'll probably, if they can remove Obama from office, I don't think he's going to leave, folks. I mean,
Well, I don't think he doesn't want to leave.
I don't think you can't make him leave. But if he leaves, you'll have an right-wing moron Republican and a Congress of the United States that basically will rubber stamp anything that the right of the party. They basically already said screw you to the Tea Party.
I know.
They're not paying any attention. The Tea Party is having its own State of the Union rebuttal because
Oh, are they?
Yeah, because they're going to say nothing that the people, the Tea Party elected people to be fiscally responsible and to cut spending. So the Republicans immediately spent $1 trillion right after the election.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pissed off at that. And everything that they do, everything that they're proposing doesn't, well, we're going to cut $100 billion out of a $5 trillion budget.
Yeah.
You're never going to get the deficit in order cutting $100 billion. It doesn't work. It's like Jerry Brown. Well, we're going to stop using these cell phones and we're going to save $20 million. Well, they got like a $19 billion deficit. 20 billion out of 20 million out of 19 billion. That's like paperclip money, folks. If you stop using paper clips, you could probably save $19 million. I mean, so $100 billion, well, they spend $110 billion on illegal aliens a year. If you shut out the illegal aliens, you automatically save $110 billion.
Mm-hmm.
If you stop frivolous lawsuits, you can save what I think they said $50–60 billion a year. If you cut out $10,000 toilets on government projects, you could probably save hundreds of billions of dollars there. But they're not. They're only going to cut spending in somebody else's district of where the money is totally wasted. They're going to get rid of, their wasteful spending is going to simply be pork projects. That's all they're going to cut out and say they cut the budget.
Uh-huh. Well, there's a lot of pork to cut.
But then they could put the money back in other areas. Like they said, for instance, if you wanted to put in a program to help wounded military personnel that can't hear and put it across, in an area, well, that basically gets support. So if you want to put in a thing that helps unwed mothers get jobs, that gets support.
Mm-hmm.
So, but those were called pork projects before, but now they're going to do it for the benefit of all the society, not just for a state. They'll do it. It just happens, well, this facility for training the soldiers how to hear again is going to be in the state of Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the pork projects are going to be done. They're not going to take any of the money out. They're just going to shift how it's done. That's how they always do it. That's how they did it before they created pork projects. So, but you just watch. It's going to get worse. We told people it's going to get worse. It is, because I actually can tell you newsmen, well, they can't do that. Well, they did do it, and I told you 2 years ago they were going, well, that's not legal. Yeah, they care. Like they're in a great shock of liberal newsmen in a liberal newsroom. Well, they can't do that.
They did.
They did. And then they tell you, well, that's not right. Well,
they don't care.
That's right. I also told them they don't care. That was my one thing. I told one newsman, they don't care. They said, well, they can. They said they don't care. They said, well, the public, well, they don't care. And he said, well, they can be voted out. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care. They do not care. It's all about what they want to do. They were elected to represent the people of their district, and instead you got guys in San Francisco basically trying to put San Francisco's objects on Tupelo, Mississippi. And a guy from Tupelo trying to put his Christian views on people in Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
They were elected to do their districts and their states, not everybody else's. Theirs. Their allegiance should be to California, Washington, Michigan. That is what they were elected to do. And then you do things together in the general interest of the entire country. But You were first elected to represent the people of your state, not represent the people of some other body's
I
state.
think they forgot about that.
Well, don't care. Because once you become an elected official, ask Brown of Massachusetts, yes, he became a senator, he became a Democrat. Because his state is heavily Democrat, so Republicans elected him, but he automatically shifted over to be a Democrat. And they want him to change parties.
Oh, do they?
Well, because he votes for the Democrats on almost every issue, so,
Well, he does.
yeah.
So it might as well be.
Yeah, I guess until the next time this is old
And
Ken.
this is not a spring chicken. We're here yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And for more information,
You can go to www.montybuckbubbles.net on the net.
and wherever you're watching us, subscribe to us, follow us on Twitter, and join us for our daily newscast in 3D. And thank you once again for over 40 million links on the internet.